You can change it, different type of patterns, really dope. I really like it a lot. If you want to see more about this particular item right here, watch more of the video and we'll get right into it. I like to know where people stand so I know how to treat you accordingly.
Baby trying to do it, I'm just doing me. I be working hard and they just want it free. Look at how I'm whipping, so they tripping now. Take away the fake, you see the difference now.
Be competitive with yourself. Hey, what's going on? It's Jsean for another cool pickup. This item was provided, so just to let you know in advance, but let me just tell you, this item is pretty slick. I really like it a lot. No hesitation, I would definitely buy one. I'm thinking about buying it for my other console as well, or at least maybe asking to see if they could provide it. I don't know, but I definitely like it. I don't know how distracting it'll be if you're watching TV and the thing's gleaming at you, but the cool thing is you can actually dim it, you can brighten it, and you can change the pattern to something solid, something more pattern-like. With that being said, I just convinced myself I want to get more. So check it out. I did make a video about this as far as me installing it. It does come with instructions, so I don't even know if I really need to include it. I'll probably just punch it in as I'm talking about it here and there, but very easy. Make sure you clean the area that you're going to stick it on, because it is an adhesive, but it's going into a place where it's not really going to affect anything. You don't have to worry about it messing up your PlayStation or doing anything that's going to damage it or anything like that. They tell you to put these little spacer circles around it. The spacer circles, I honestly don't know what they're supposed to do, but just don't put them on the very ends, because you want the edges to stick as best as possible. On the side where the disc is, if you have a disc version, that side I believe is the right side, what they consider. The fan in the what is that called, the cover for the RAM, it will get covered a little bit, so it doesn't have a perfectly flat place to stick onto. So adding those little bumpers it takes away from the sticky part. So I don't, like I said, I don't know exactly the purpose of that. So far it's working well. I really like it a lot. Bus powered, or whatever you want to call it, through the back of the PlayStation, so you will lose one of those blue ports. But again, look at the patterns. I did a close-up right here where you can see the different styles or whatever, but it's really cool. You can dim it, you can change the pattern to an automatic version, or you can just scroll through the different styles, which is like 29 of them. Some of them are, like I said, are solid. Some of them are just have like little trickling patterns, and some of them are like rainbow. It's really nice. And it's subtle. Even on the brightest setting, which it's on now, it's at an angle, so you might not be able to see all the details. But let me just hit that real quick while we're talking. It's not so overbearing where if it was like next to your TV and you're watching TV or streaming on here, it's not going to be that distracting. And again, you can put on a solid mode or just dim it down if you want to. So installation is super easy. To be honest, all I did was just look at the pictures and just follow it to make sure it matched, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing really much to it, but I will say it's a very slick upgrade to your console. It really makes it customized. As soon as everybody saw it in here, they were like ooh and awed about it, and it's a very simple upgrade and very inexpensive. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you guys want to pick one up. Let me know if you see anything else that's in there, like Amazon store, that you think is slick but you're not sure about, whether it be a skin or something like that. But until then, there's another item that I want to share with you that I feel like is a nice addition to this nice customization that's very inexpensive. Now, if you're the type of person, now this is for a controller, if you're the type of person who doesn't want to or don't feel comfortable taking things apart, taking apart the controller and doing all these different things, then maybe this particular part isn't for you. That thing right there is actually very easy and something that anybody can do. Okay, it's not something that's going to damage your stuff, make the warranty messed up or anything like that with your particular item. It's something that is just put on by adhesive. You just take the covers off. Very simple, very easy. Anybody can do it. Now, if you're tired of your controller looking real plain, this right here add a little style to it. You're gonna see here it's kind of like a ribbonish cable type of deal. I don't know the correct term, but it's something that's gonna end up going inside of the controller. Okay, now for me, I have kids, so they used the controllers before and the actual buttons were sticking, and because of that I had to actually take the controller apart. Now it wasn't that hard, but it was a little tedious. But I could also see at the same time how some people wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I was nervous as well, thinking I may or may not mess it up, but everything was well because I did it twice. Now it comes with all the tools that you need. As you can see here, you got a little screwdriver, you got little screws here. This is the box it comes with, and as you can see, these are the items right here. I don't remember if it does like some type of light transitions, but I do know that it's going to give you some colors. All right, so here's a pry tool. Here's a pry tool, something that you see often when you're working on cell phones and stuff like that. And these are the buttons right here, which are basically clear or translucent or whatever you want to call it, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to light up and you're going to see through these different parts of the controller, and it's going to be the buttons, the pad, and the joysticks, and a couple other little parts on here. And I'm a little nervous to see like what parts I got to take apart, because I did take that controller apart before, and I don't know how much more I have to take apart to add this to it. So with that being said, make sure you follow them as well on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and even TikTok. They're called ExtremeRate. I'm gonna put all the links in the description below. This is like kind of like a 3-partish type video where it's gonna be a little shorter in content or time, but it's gonna be from the same brand, but you can check them out all the same. And so with that being said, let's get right to it and let me show you what it looks like. Hey, what's going on? I'm not even exaggerating. I basically got to redo a lot of this audio because I kept having all these technical difficulties. It's crazy. But as you can see, the controller right here, as is pretty much basically like well, I'm glad I picked the black first of all, but it's basically got this nice matte finish black with the kind of frosty looking clear buttons, and it looks super dope. One thing I realized after I made this for the first attempt, if you hit this button right here, the top and to the side at the same time, so a diagonal, and you hold this one right here, I have a hard time remembering square, circle, and all this other stuff for some reason. I come to find out that this doesn't even have those anymore, so I can't even remember it for myself. But as you can see, I pretty much have this on a rotating type of pattern where it's transitional, and it's a smooth transition to each color. I think there's 9 colors or something like that. Now, if you do another combination where I think it's up in the same side button or the top, I can't even remember. I don't want to mess this up at the moment. But again, this isn't an instructional video. It's just my perception or perspective, or how I feel about getting something like this and using it for the first time. And I'll say that I really like how it's working out. But if you hold that other combination I was telling you, or something similar, I can't remember if it's the up direction, right direction, or whatever. It's either this one or this one. I can't remember. And the button is either this one or this one. You hold it for a few seconds and it'll blink. All the colors will start blinking. And then from there, you hit up and down, or it's one of these. I'm sorry. But you have to go through it and you cycle through each of the colors that you want. And you can pick it by confirming it. And then you're good to go. Now, I stumbled across the transitional one, and this is the one I'm going to stick with because, to be honest, they all look good. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep that version of it where it's like this. And then I realized, why is it not turning off? And this is where you have to power it off. You have to hold that directional and hold that button like I was just showing you. You hold it for a few seconds, and then it will turn off and preserve your battery. And there you go. You're good to go. I just wish, like, you know, people who got like this, like myself, you know, even though it's okay and it's not too bad, it's just, you know, a little underwhelming, but people wanted it because they wanted something a little more customized looking, something that's just a little better or different, I would say, than the white version. Something like this. Imagine if Sony came out with something like this out the box, you know, something like this where you don't actually have to take it apart and do it yourself and it's already done. I'm pretty sure them things will be flying off the shelf. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all gonna get it done? Do you feel comfortable trying it out? I will say, if you're a person who is not that handy in following instructions and stuff like that with tedious small parts, you got to be careful because you can easily ruin your controller in an instant. And if you're okay with that, then go ahead and try it. And if you don't feel like you're comfortable with it, it's probably not the best option for you unless you get somebody to do it for you, because again, you could ruin the controller as well, and that's like, well, good $70 or $75 depending on which color you're using. The other item here, I'm just going to jump into it. I can't see what I'm doing because I'm punching this in after the fact, but this is basically a dust cover and slash waterproofish cover. The cover basically can fit over a disc version or non-disc version. I did see somewhere in the comments where somebody was saying that it did not fit their disc version. As you can see in mine, it's easily fitting the disc version. It hugs it nicely. It's not too tight, and has the opening in the back on the bottom. That way you can have all your plugs plugged in and you can still drop it down as you need to without taking anything apart. Now for me, the Velcro straps, I'm going to unstrap it so I can easily pull it up and down without it getting tangled, because the way I have mine positioned, I can't really go back there and get behind the system or the console and easily unstrap it. So I think this is a very nice and inexpensive way to protect your investment, your console, however you want to label it. And I definitely recommend everything so far that I've seen. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And while we're on this video, if you made it this far, if you can, maybe, I don't even know if I'm even gonna do this, but my daughter has one of my little ones, she real little, you know what I'm saying? She's a big fan of some YouTuber, some female. I think she's like a gamer or something like that. I don't remember the name, but just for more to support purposes, I got her some of their brand, what is it called? Their merch or whatever. And if y'all can support her, drop a little comment or something like that. I mean, she's a little kid, man. Don't go crazy and be leaving no crazy stuff or unnecessary thumbs down unless you're gonna do it twice. So with that being said, that's pretty much it. Make sure you do everything at top level, at your top level. And remember, you're no competition with anybody except yourself. So make sure your next move is your best move, or at least your better move. Until next time, later.